Hi, my name is Robin Whitworth, and I'm a Beachbody coach. I'm doing a training on how we build relationships and how we invite. Now, this is the biggest bread and butter thing to your business. When we build relationships, we're talking about when you're messaging on Instagram, when you're doing Snapchat, when you're posting through Facebook, making YouTube videos, whatever it is that you're doing to build a relationship with somebody. Like, we want you to build relationships with these people. Obviously, it's going to be people you don't know sometimes. At this point in my business, 80% of all my customers and people in my groups are actually people I've never met. And that's how it goes, right? I mean, eventually your warm market, those people that you already know really well, is going to not be the people you're inviting anymore. They'll be training on free groups that I'll talk about in a minute. But let's talk about how we build, anyway, the free group thing was like how to expand your market, how to bring those new people to you. So, sorry, I go off on tangents sometimes. So building the relationship. Why do you need to build a relationship with somebody before you invite them? Can you imagine if some lady you never knew, like, messaged you on Facebook and said, hey, I'm doing this party for this really cool company and I love their products. It's so amazing. Are you interested? And you didn't know her at all. Like, you didn't know her at all. And maybe you've never even heard of her company. Like, would you respond to that, honestly? And maybe if you did, you'd say, do I know you? Like, why are you contacting me? To me, that is a big red flag of, I just want to sell you a product. Like, they didn't even try to get to know me to see if I wanted their product. Like, if the product would even be good for me. Like, no, we want to build a relationship first. Okay. So when you're talking to them in Facebook and social media, I'm just going to use social media as the generic term for whatever social media platforms you're using in your business. But you want to have trust with them. That happens through your regular posting. Okay, they need to see that you're serious about whatever you're going to be inviting them to and talking to them about. It needs to be no secret that you're a Beachbody coach. That's building trust. When you're out there as a coach, people know that you're a coach. That way you don't have to be afraid to, like, tell people I'm a coach. Like, anyway. So cheer them on their posts. If you happen to run like a free 7-day eating group or something, you need to follow up with them and ask them how they thought the group went. Like, they need to see that you are invested in them and interested in them. The second thing is find relatability. So you've built that trust through being a presence in their life. I'm not going anywhere type thing. And then be relatable. If they're a mom, talk to them about being a mom. If they have dogs that are ripping their furniture apart, talk about how your dog ripped your shoe apart. Like, you need to mention these relatable things. Again, that comes through posting and liking, and in your relationship when you're talking to them, when you're inviting them, like, mention those things. Okay? Those are those things that you are relatable about. Understand. Like, if they're really busy and they say, man, I'll get back with you later, be like, okay, I totally know what that's like. I will contact you at 5 o'clock tonight to see if you've had time to go over my link or whatever you're talking about. You need to be understanding with what they're doing. Show them that you're being understanding. Say, I know what it's like to have a long day. Or, man, I remember what it was like to have a long work day. I remember what it was like to have a new baby in the middle of the night. Whatever it is, make sure that you're being understanding about their situation, but you're not validating it as a point for them to not talk to you. That's the very important thing to go there. Don't say, oh, I know how it is. Well, get with me when you can. No, that immediately puts it on them. And that's not very kind. That's not good customer service. You need to say, I know how that goes. I will contact you back. Then they don't have to worry about you anymore. They know that you're going to contact them back and they don't have to worry about it. Please do them that favor. Give them a time that you're going to contact them back. Believe me, people love that. I do. Okay? Empathy. Express awe and courage and happiness. So if they're like, I've been doing my own thing and I've dropped one pant size, or I've been trying to, piece together my supplements and I'm kind of doing good. I've been feeling so good. Don't immediately be like, well, I have a better solution for you. Shakeology is so much easier. Or, well, if you were doing 21 Day Fix, you would have done that faster. Say, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you that you're doing this on your own. That is amazing. Or they're like, well, my kids are kind of crazy. Be like, well, I think you're an amazing mom. Like, give them like so much empathy because you know that you've been where they are. You weren't in Beachbody before, right? You had, concerns, and you wanted the person to understand where you're coming from so that you can make sure that you have that relationship with them. That you understand that maybe if they don't check into your group, you're not going to hate them. They need to know that you know their situation and you empathize. So that if they fall off the wagon one day, they're not going to expect you to be like, now, where were you? You're supposed to be in this group, and come on, I can't support you if you're not in this group. No way, you're not going to be a coach like that. You're going to understand. So the last one is make sure when you're talking to people, you're hitting, we call the four major areas. You're talking about your family, you're talking about your work, talking about what they like to do. That's important, right? To know how to motivate them. Maybe they really like massages. Maybe they really like nail polish. Like you could say, hey, when you hit your goal, I'm going to reward you with a nail polish. That might really excite somebody, but you wouldn't know that if you hadn't talked about it. And then share your message. I think I would really enjoy your energy and your story in our group. Would you like to join me? Do you think this group is going to be something that would benefit you? Always share your message, you guys. Don't leave people hanging. If people are expecting you to invite you to their group, then invite them. Don't lead them on this long conversation. Busy moms, I can tell you, I get super annoyed when I notice. I had a girl from Lip Sense do this to me the other day. She's like, so, yeah, your shirt's really pretty, and I think that lip color is so good on you. And I'm like, I'm not even wearing lipstick. Why did she even say that to me? And I didn't know her. Anyway, so don't try to come up with things to talk to somebody about. Be real. After you've kind of made that connection, that relatability, be open with them and say, you know what, I don't know if you're interested in this, but, I wanted to extend an invite. I think it'd be really fun for you to do this group. So before you send any links of any kind, a recording of a video or a promo video for a workout or anything, don't send them those links and be like, well, here's my link to look at. Before you've made that relationship, before you've connected and seen if what you have to offer is even something that's going to be a good fit for them. Okay? Otherwise, you're being pushy and salesy. Okay, so when you do the invite, make sure that you're breadcrumbing the information. Now, what that means, you're not going to go in and they'll say, well, what's the details on your group? And you're going to say, well, it's a 4-week group and we're doing Beachbody and everyone has to buy a challenge pack and they're $140 and then you're going to get Shakeology and it's this really big thing and you go off about the ingredients and then you're like, and then you're going to get this program and we're all going to do it at home and it's going to be super fun. And then you're going to get on Facebook and you have to check into our group and blah, 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 blah. And you send this huge message to them. We call that throwing up on people. Don't do that. Now, new coaches, I did this myself. They think that if they don't give them every single detail of information, that they're being dishonest. That is not true. What you're doing is making sure you're not wasting their time, okay? You want to make sure the information that you have to share even benefits them. Taking people around the bush and giving them all this information they didn't ask for is actually rude, and I think it wastes their time. We want to make sure that we're breadcrumbing. So what you want to do is say, hey, is there a couple questions I can ask that I can make sure this group's going to be a good fit for you? And they'll say, sure. Everybody does. They want to share their opinion. So you say, hey, what have you tried in the past? What are your specific goals? What are you doing right now? And what do you think is the main object as to why you're not where you are, where you want to be, why you haven't reached that goal already? Now, those questions will help you to see. They'll say, hey, I'm doing 221 fix. Or, hey, I tried, T25. That is a big red flag to you. They already have a coach. They've already tried Beachbody. They understand the challenge group. And if you think maybe they haven't, then you could say, oh, so do you already have a coach with Beachbody? And they can say yes, or, well, I bought it off eBay. I just did it by myself. And then, okay, they're still open to having a coach. And then you don't have to talk about, maybe switching coaches if their coach has quit or whatever it is. But that gives you an immediate in to knowing that they understand Beachbody programs and stuff. Then you could say, hey, have you done a challenge group before? Because then you don't have to go in to explain how a challenge group works. They already know. And you could say, oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you already know about a challenge group. Okay, so now we can move from here, That's breadcrumbing. That's when you ask a lot of questions to find out what they are already doing. What's their pain point? You don't want to sell them on, you're going to lose so much weight with 21 Day Fix if they're a marathoner that's at 19% body weight. That's not going to that's not going to interest them. So if they're like, well, my main goal is toning, I really want to build up my endurance, then you'll say, oh, okay, she's a girl that's going to want to weight lift, or someone's going to do something like hammer and chisel. Okay. You can say, hey, we have a program for that. It's this and this and this. You don't even have to talk about weight loss. So make sure that you're asking those 4 basic questions and then slowly breadcrumbing different information to them based on what they told you. So I know that this slide says role playing. I did this on a live video, and we role played in a chat group. And then I shared examples of what not to say, but I've already done that for you with my voice, and talked about how you need to look at the questions they're asking, the expression they give, only offer what they're asking for. Don't assume things. That's what I meant by number 1 there that you can see on this slide. Don't assume that they don't have money for their challenge group and then immediately start offering discounts and stuff. That's rude. Get your nose out of people's wallets. Like, if someone is assuming that I was poor, I would kind of be like, wow, so that you think I'm poor? Like, no, don't assume stuff. Don't assume that they think they're fat. Don't assume that they think they're skinny. Don't assume anything. Like, don't be like, well, I don't know. Just don't assume stuff. Make sure that you're asking them questions like, well, do you think you're struggling with your meal plan? How did you feel when you did T25? Was that, a hard program for you? Like, help me understand why it didn't work for you. Like, ask questions. And if they're like, well, this and this and this, then you can kind of say, well, I think this program is what's going to really work for you. Do you want to see the link for that? And express praise and gratitude for what they have done and for the questions they are answering. Say, thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's really important to me that my clients get, information that's really going to benefit them. So let's do this so you can see my face. So make sure that you're building that relationship first before you start going through the breadcrumbing process, which is the invite. Now, if it's a free group, like no strings attached, they're not going to make a money investment or anything, just invite them. Just say, hey, I'm doing a free group, no strings attached. I really want you in my group. I could use your energy. I want to use your background as a mom of 6. I know you eat healthy, or I know you've been wanting to eat healthier. I really think this group is something that we're going to have fun in. I'm going to offer a prize at the end. Do you want to join me? Like, it's simple. Free groups, simple inviting. But when it's the challenge group and they're going to be making a month investment, they're going to make a monetary investment, that needs to be taken a lot more carefully. So make sure you're keeping it simple. Don't ever send these huge long messages. Like, if it gets to that point, you need to say, hey, I'd like to get on the phone with you and explain stuff to make sure it's really clear. In fact, it's been my experience that when I get people on the phone, it's almost always a done deal. Because they can hear you. They can hear you're genuine. I also use the voice message option on my iPhone all the time when I'm messaging people. All the time. I want them to hear me, and it's a lot easier to explain it with my voice than to try to type it out and hope that they're getting the gist. Sometimes people could even misinterpret your message. So I think getting on the phone or using voice message is really, really key to helping people trust you to get to the point where they are going to invest in that challenge pack and move your business forward. So that is kind of the basic information on how to build that relationship, how to invite through breadcrumbing only. Don't send links and say, oh, I'm so glad you're interested in my group. Here's my link. Go order. No, this business isn't like that. This is Beachbody coaching. This is dealing with people's health and changing their lives. Like, we need to have that relationship, and it's good customer service, and it's awesome coaching, and this business rocks. So there we go on that training.